Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you for joining me once again on one of these Magic the Gathering box openings. And I'm not entirely sure when certain things are going to be coming out, but I will let you know that during this recording, it's happening right at the beginning of October. And what better way to celebrate October than with a little bit of spooky scariness? You know, a little bit of Duskmourn there. I'd opened up one previously there, and this is going to be the second one that I'm going to be doing. What I am going to be doing from now on, though, is after I have opened up kind of a fair amount of a certain pack there. So this will include Thunder Junction, and if I'm getting more Ixalan there, or, you know, Murders at Karlov Manor. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a rather fast open up of, I'll quickly zip through the cards, stopping on the rare just to see, you know, what value that might have. But also, I'm going to just take a quick peek at the uncommons because there are a few uncommons that have a little bit of value to them there, and it's always good to be able to stop on those because they're very, very good. So, without further ado, looking for a little first pack magic, seeing if we might be able to get on in and see if we can get another good box of this here. And I can't remember. Yeah, it looks like stuff starts in the back. Glassworks, Shattered Yard, Fear of Surveillance, Boiler Bilge's Ripper, Derelict Attic, Widow's Walk, Frantic Strength, Tunnel Surveyor, Spectral Snatcher, Fear of Imposters, Rite of the Moth, Razorkin Horde Caller, Fear of Burning Alive, and our rare is going to be an Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber. 2 and a black for an enchantment room with at the beginning of your end step. You draw a card. If you control a demon, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Otherwise, you lose 2 life there. So, you know, pretty good to get a demon out there for it. And Ritual Chamber, 3 double black for an enchantment room with when you unlock this door, you create a 6/6 black demon token with flying. So kind of synergizes of trying to get the demon so that you can do it for there. However, there are some pretty cheap demons that you can get to make this work there. And I have like a little 60 card deck there that I'm thinking I could probably put this into to be able to take advantage of the demon thing and get it going there. But we're going to start off with that. And we're also going to get a little bit of Raucous Carnival and a Bashful Beastie. It's so shy. And some odd thing here, a Bedhead Beastie. Okay. Not the most exciting first pack, but, you know, we've got a lot more to be able to get through here. You know, a little bit of Classic Murder, Fear of Immobility, Glassworks and Shattered Yard again, Shepherding Spirits, Stalked Researcher, Fear of Lost Teeth, Grasping Longneck, Clockwork Percussionist, Flood Pit's Drowner, Inquisitive Glimmer, Oblivious Bookworm, and our rare is going to be Toby, the Beastie Befriender, 2 and a white for a 1/1 legendary human wizard. With when it ETBs, you create a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can't attack or block alone, as long as you control 4 or more creature tokens you control have flying. Okay, very nice. Just a little bit of creature tokens in there, a little bit of Swamp there, and a Clammy Prowler with that Gremlin. Pretty sure that there's no common cards that have anything that's like super amazing with them there, and my goodness, these have been having the corners stay on. Glimmer Burst, Possessed Goat, Grab the Prize, Tunnel Surveyor, Fear of the Dark, Moldering Gym and Weight Room, Malevolent Chandelier, Beastie Beatdown, Fear of Abduction, Untimely Malfunction. Now, this is one of the ones that we wanted to stop on there because, like I've said in the past, it feels very much like an Abrade, except it has different things to it of, you know, it's got the destroy target artifact for the same cost and instant like Abrade. However, it can change the target of a spell with a single target there to something else. You can have a counterspell target itself there. You could have something that's going to boost up your opponent, give it to yourself as well. If it needs to target something that'll benefit your opponent, you could make it target the least of them there. Or you can give 1 or 2 target creatures can't block this turn, so if you want to play more of an aggressive deck there, you can try to get right in. But this is a good uncommon to be able to get. And we're also going to get Altanak, the thrice called, this weird insect beast guy there that you can get out with like a Bloody Mary effect. And we're going to get a Peer Past the Veil, 2 red and a green for an instant with discard your hand. Then you draw X cards, where X is the number of card types among cards in your graveyard there. So, you know, if you've got instants and sorceries and creatures, enchantment creatures, well, that's an enchantment room, but enchantment creatures there, just kind of like with Delirium, there's kind of an easy way to get at least 4. So being able to pay 4, discard your hand, and then draw 4, you know, especially if you are running a very fast, aggressive deck there, to potentially have nothing in your hand after you resolve this and you get 4 cards. It's pretty nice. Lakeshade Shack and an Emerge from the Cocoon. Alrighty. So good uncommon and kind of a rare for with the red and green that gets some stuff there. Vicious Clown, Living Phone, Hand That Feeds, Twist Reality, Innocuous Rat, Cryptid Investigator, Creeping Peeper, Drag to the Roots, Paranormal Analyst. Oh, a Withering Torment. This is another good one there because of its effects there. And it's also the alternate artwork of this one here. 2 and a black for an instant that destroys target creature or an enchantment. You lose 2 life, but 2 life to get rid of their best creature or best enchantment. Doesn't hit artifacts, but that's what you've got the Untimely Malfunction for. So, I mean, being able to get rid of most things between the 2 of them there, both of them at instance, very, very good. So it's always good to get another one of these because, I mean, just destruction of, you know, your choice there of creature enchantment is pretty good. Defiant Survivor. For whatever reason, I was like, wait a second, I didn't think that they had like Japanese artwork on these types of cards there. I guess Jessica Fong just has kind of that artwork to her there, I guess. And our rare is going to be a Roaring Furnace and Steaming Sauna. It's going to be a room, 1 in a red for when you unlock this door. It deals damage equal to the number of cards in your hand to target creature and opponent controls. Okay, do that early on. You can deal a lot more. Steaming Sauna, no maximum hand size. Beginning of your end step, draw a card. Not too shabby, you know. Drawing extra cards and you get no maximum hand size. It's nice. Full Art Mountain. Very nice to see the full arts there. And, ooh, a foil rare. A Cursed Recording, 2 double red for an artifact. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you put a time counter on this. Then if there are 7 or more on it, you remove those counters. It deals 20 damage to you. Tap. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell, you copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Okay. So it's weird because it's one where you want to make sure that you're not getting the counters on it there, or that you can remove them. This isn't like Suspend where you can just take off counters. So if you've got ways of moving the counters off of this, that would be very nice there. Or if you can give this to your opponent or something there. But, I mean, it's got the whole the Ring feel to it there because it's 7 days, and in this case, you know, it's 7 instant or sorcery spells, and you probably don't want to cast them unless you copy them there, and then it deals 20 damage to you, which just, you know, if you're not gaining any life, just insta kills you. You know, I think it has a lot of good flavor there, you know, a little bit of Ghost Vacuum on that. So, nice flavor. I think it's a little bit of a difficult card to work around. I mean, if you want to use it in something like Commander, using something like Harmless Offering to give it to someone after you get like 6 counters on it seems pretty nice. Friendly Teddy, Trapped in the Screen, Ragged Playmate, Underwater Tunnel, and Slimy Aquarium, Cracked Skull, Slavering Branch Snapper, Appendage Amalgam, Disturbing Mirth, Unwilling Vessel, Fear of Failed Tests, House Cartographer, And Ghost Vacuum, which we just had on our art card, is going to be our rare. Nice little one here. 1 mana for an artifact that you can tap to exile target card from a graveyard. So getting a little bit of graveyard hate. That's always nice. The Ghostbusters reference to it there. 6 and tap, sack it. You put each creature card exiled with it on the battlefield under your control with a flying counter on it, except it's a 1/1 spirit in addition to its other types. Activate only as a sorcery. I mean, unless you're in Commander, you're probably not playing that there, but depending on what you do, potentially being able to get a bunch of those out there with ETB triggers or different sorts of triggers on them there, or good abilities is nice. Another Raucous Carnival and a foil Meat Locker and Drowned Diner. So good rare to get there. Graveyard hate is always good there, especially when it's colorless and it can literally go into anything. It's no excuse not to put it in there. Resurrected Cultist, Cult Healer, Ripchain Razorkin, Frantic Strength, Vanish from Sight, Fanatic of the Harrowing, Flesh Burrower, Grand Entryway, Elegant Rotunda, Unnerving Grasp, Dashing Bloodsucker, Trial of Agony. Ooh, and you saw this one in the last one there that I had purchased an extra one there, but always getting more is very nice. An Overlord of the Hauntwoods. 3 double green for a 6/5 enchantment creature avatar horror. With whenever it enters or attacks, you create a tapped colorless land token named Everywhere. That is every basic land type, and also has Impending 4. So for 1 and double green, you put this onto the field with 4 time counters on it. It's not a creature until the last one is removed, and at the beginning of your end step, you remove a time counter. So it will ETB, and you get that free land there if you play it for its impending cost. Or if you're somehow able to cheat it onto the battlefield there, it doesn't have the impending cost, but it's still a 6/5 there. So very, very nice one there. I really like the Overlords and the impending for them there. I'm hoping to be able to get more of them there. I mean, and we got another one of the ones that I really wanted too. So now I've got more places that I can put it because I've got multiple of them. Full Art Plains is nice, and another Fear of the Dark with a little gremlin on top. So, I mean, hey, Ghost Vacuum, an Overlord of the Hauntwoods. We've got an Untimely Malfunction and an Unyielding Torment there. So far, so good. I mean, Insect, Wary Watchdog, Jump Scare, Boo! Ticket Booth, Tunnel of Hate, Monstrous Emergence, Erratic Apparition, Final Vengeance, Clammy Prowler, Midnight Mayhem, Commune with Evil. Let's play a game. And the Swarm Weaver, which the Insect is perfect for. I mean, that's what it's there for. 2, a black and a green for a 2/3 legendary artifact Scarecrow with, when it ETBs, you create 2 1/1 black and green insect creature tokens with flying. And Delirium, as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 and Death Touch there. Very, very nice. And we're getting 2 rares in this one. Ripspawn Hunter, 2, a green and a white for a 4/4 legendary human survivor. With survival at the beginning of your second main phase, if Ripspawn Hunter is tapped, you reveal the top X cards of your library where X is its power. You put any number of creature and or vehicle cards with different powers from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order there. So a lot of card draw there. You can use this to be able to crew vehicles or station spaceships there to just make sure that it's going to be tapped for your second main phase there. So very nice there. Looks at the top 4 cards of your library. That's very nice. A little bit of planes and a foil trapped in the screen with that insect that goes with the Swarm Weaver there. So overall, I don't know. I'm liking what we've got so far. Another insect. So we got the 2 that goes with Swarm Weaver. Glimmerlight, Fear of Surveillance, Turn Inside Out. That was a big one there for the when it dies trigger for the manifest, but also gives the +3/+0 for 1 red. Cautious Survivor, Don't Make a Sound, Give In to Violence, Balemerk Leech, Get Out, Miasma Demon, Infernal Phantom, Betrayer's Bargain, Tale of Tamio, 2 and a blue for a saga with on the turn it's played, and then the first and second upkeep afterwards, you mill 2 cards. If 2 cards that share a card type were milled this way, you draw a card and you repeat the process. And on the third upkeep after this is played, you exile any number of target instant, sorcery, and or Tameo planeswalker cards from your graveyard. You copy them, and you may cast any number of the copies. So being able to play a whole bunch of instants and sorceries sounds pretty darn good. Full Art Swamp and a Cautious Survivor, not Full Art, foil. So I'm not sure if I had that Tale of Tameo yet, so, you know, that's an especially good one there. Ooh, creepy little spider there with a lot of extra eyes. Spine Seeker Centipede, Friendly Ghost, Most Valuable Slayer, Malevolent Chandelier, Bashful Beastie, Winter's Intervention, Meat Locker and Drowned Diner, Anthropede, Surgical Suite and Hospital Room, Wildfire Wickerfolk, Unwanted Remake, and, oh, there we go. Another mythic for us there, a Walking Closet and a Forgotten Cellar. So both enchantment rooms, Walking Closet, 2 and a green. You may play land cards from your graveyard. That's always very nice. A little bit of Crucible of Worlds there on an enchantment. Enchantments are harder to get rid of than artifacts there in most cases. Forgotten Cellar, 3 and double green. When you unlock this door, you may cast spells from your graveyard this turn, and if a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, you exile it instead. Okay, so you are only going to want to do this on the turns that you're able to do it, because it's when you unlock it there, you're able to do that. So a little bit restrictive on this side here, but the Walking Closet is very nice. And we're going to get a foil Forest there with the eyeball in the flower and a foil Glimmerburst with that spider. So a lot of extra eyes that we saw in there, but I mean, having a lot of extra of anything can kind of be seen as horror in that sort of aspect there. Now, Overlord of the Flood Pits on this card. Hardened Escort, Seized from Slumber, Rampaging Soul Rager, Moldering Gym Weight Room, Spectral Snatcher, Underwater Tunnel and Slimely Aquarium, Creeping Peeper, Shroud Stomper, Duskmourn's Domination, Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, Haunted Screen, and, ooh, another Aberrant Oculus. I got one of these in the collector boxes before I started doing my recordings there when this initially came out, so good to get another one here. 2 and a blue for a 5/5 eye, with, as an additional cost to cast it, you have to exile 6 cards from your graveyard. And, I mean, in blue, you're probably able to mill yourself quite a bit. I mean, Tale of Tameo is going to be helping you out with a lot of that as well. Flying, at the beginning of your opponent's upkeep, you manifest Dread. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2, and the other into your graveyard. Turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card. So potentially getting some extra creatures out there and milling yourself for a bit more. Yeah, you know, it's a good one there. So I'm glad to get another one, and a Peculiar Lighthouse and a foil Savior of the Small with that Flood Pits there. So, hey, you know, get another Mythic. That's always a good one there. We've gotten 3 so far. So, I mean, if we keep on going, getting some more of them, that'd be great. Scorching Dragonfire, Unsettling Twins, Terramorphic Expanse, Boulder Bridges Ripper, Fear of Lost Teeth, Flesh Burrower, Tunnel Surveyor, Shard Mage's Rescue, Fear of Isolation, Orphans of the Wheat, Keys to the House, and a Leyline of the Void there. It's been reprinted a whole lot there, but still pretty good. 2 double black enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, you can begin the game with this on the battlefield, playing it for free. And if a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, it's exiled instead. So trying to hose off some of those graveyard strategies like we talked about. A Plains and a foil Say Its Name to help try to bring out that Altenac there. And our little spirit as well. So, hey, you know, if we want to try to play that Altenac there, we could try to get some foils of every one of those there. More insects for our Swarm Weaver. Bedhead Beastie, Piranha Fly, Acrobatic Cheerleader, Manifest Dread, Unable to Scream, Found Footage, Balemark Leech, Vile Mutilator, Gremlin Tamer, Fear of Being Hunted, Coordinated Clobbering. Ooh. Alternate Art of Valgavoth Lair. Now, I'm not sure if I even have Valgavoth Lair, let alone I know I don't have this alternate art. I don't remember seeing this one at all. That's it's very creepy, but it still looks really cool too. Valgaboth's Lair, Enchantment Land, some more enchantments, hexproof, enters tapped, and if you do, you choose the color and you add 1 mana of the chosen color there. So, big mana fixing with hexproof there. Seems pretty nice, especially since it's a new card there, so I'll certainly take that. And a Murky Sewer and a Glasswork Shatter Yard foil there. So, good for our first third. Okay. First one up of the next. Oh, what we've got here. Bedded Beastie, Piranha Fly, Acrobatic Cheerleader, Scorching Dragonfire, Manifest Dread, Unable to Scream, Found Footage, Dashing Bloodsucker, Unnerving Grasp, Insidious Fungus with a little bit of alternate artwork there. Ooh, and an alternate art for our Winter Mythanthropic Guide. So this is going to be the winter that is going to be present before they suddenly decide to take place in Aetherdrift somehow. But they are going to be a black, a red, and a green for a 3/4 legendary human warlock with ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards, so a little bit of group hug if you want to call it that. And Delirium, as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, each opponent's maximum hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those card types. Ooh, so getting this out there, get that Delirium active, and potentially, if you've got 4 or more, then it decreases their hand size by at least 4. So they can only keep 3 cards in their hand, or if you get additional ones in your graveyard there, maybe less. I mean, that can be pretty devastating to not be able to keep cards in your hand and you got to get rid of them there. So I don't know. That might be something that I think of for some sort of Jund deck. I'm not sure if I had this winter. I mean, there's the one from the Commander deck there, but I don't know about that one there. That seems kind of intense. And we're also going to get a Nashi, Searcher in the Dark, double legendaries. Blue and a black, 2/2, legendary Rat Ninja Wizard with Menace. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you mill that many cards. You put any number of legendary or enchantment cards from among them into your hand. If no cards are put in your hand this way, you put a +1/+1 on Nashi. Okay, a little bit more Peculiar Lighthouse and a foil Most Valuable Slayer with that. Oh, that's Demonic Council. Yeah, that looks pretty demonic there. And I mean, it's good artwork there. I won't deny that. Okay, Winter was a good hit there because I could see some use for that. And just a regular spider. Is this the one that we had with the token? Scorching Dragonfire, Friendly Teddy, Shepherding Spirits, Bear Trap, Manifest Red, Stalked Researcher, Creeping Peeper, Nowhere to Run, Sawblade Skin Ripper, Attack in the Box, Fear of Exposure, another Leyline of the Void there, same that we had before. Good for hosing the graveyards, and Neglected Manor, and a... Oh, here we go. Okay, so first off, yes, it is the same token that we had there. Weird. But a Foil Verge. Now, that's a good one to get there. Lands are always good there, especially when they tap for at least one other color. Even more so if they come in untapped. And I mean, it taps for white, but if you control a plains or an island, tap in for blue as well if you want to. So, hey, I mean, that's a very, very good pickup there. A foil rare land is always a good find there. I mean, if it wants to give me more of those, I'm also just, if it wants to just give me more Verges as well, I'm very good. Valgaboth's Onslaught, Bedded Beastie, Wary Watchdog, Emerge from the Cocoon, Moldering Gym and Weight Room, Enter the Enigma, Innocuous Rat, Clockwork Percussionist, Lionheart Glimmer, Growing Dread, Optimistic Scavenger. Oh, and there we go. We got both versions of Valgaboth's Lair, so just in case I didn't get it before, here is going to be the regular one. I mean, not quite as scary or intimidating as it still has a lot of intimidation factor to it. It's just the other one feels a lot heavier, if you will. But I don't think I had this one, so getting another one, both versions of it is very nice. And we're also going to get a Kona Rescue Beast. Yay, Kona! 3 and a green for a 4/3 Legendary Beast Survivor with Survival. Beginning of your second main phase, if Kona is tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand on the battlefield. Again, this is very, very powerful there because, you use it to crew a vehicle, you use it to use station, or tap it for an ability of something else there. And you just get to put any permanent from your hand on the battlefield, even if it's really expensive. That's why it's really good there. So, getting more of them there. I think I'd like to make a commander of this where I just have a bunch of really expensive permanents in my hand and, use stuff like Station to be able to help get them out. Foil Island and a foil Vile Mutilator there, and that signed Valgavoth's Onslaught there. So Kona is a nice pickup there, along with the Valgavoth's Lair. I mean, getting some good ones there. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be opening up any Duskmourn after this one here, since I have opened up a few of them already, and I feel like I've gotten most of the cards. Probably will just be able to get the remaining ones I need just by buying the singles afterwards. Trapped in the Screen, Grab the Prize, Spineseeker's Centipede, Possessed Goat, Don't Make a Sound, Fanatic of the Harrowing, Found Footage, Glimmer Seeker, Cynical Loner, Violent Urge, Cathartic Parting, and a Doomsday Excruciator. Very interesting card because it's 6 black mana for a 6/6 demon with flying. When it ETBs, if it was cast, each player exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of their library face down. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card. So, I mean, if you play this and you're able to make your opponents draw all of their cards, that's very nice there. But it's just a very weird card. Forest with the Eyeball Flower and another foil rare there. Okay, that's 2. 3 actually, yeah, because we had the Verge there, and then we had this Cursed Recording. Okay, that's pretty nice. Marina Vendrill's Grimoire, 5 and a blue. Pretty expensive legendary artifact. When it ETBs, if it was cast, you draw 5 cards. That's nice. You have no maximum hand size and don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. Whenever you gain life, you draw that many cards. Whenever you lose life, you discard that many cards. And if there are no cards in your hand, you lose the game. Okay. You still lose the game if you deck yourself there. So that's one of the big things that you have to be careful of for this. But, potentially drawing a whole lot of extra cards is pretty nice there. So if you want to try to get rid of this so that if you're going to be running out of cards there, it's whenever you lose life, you discard that many cards. If you use up actually all the cards in your hand and you don't take any damage, you still don't die. Interesting. It only activates when you lose life. Good to know. That's an interesting little tech, I guess, with it. I mean, it's also like if you just play it out as a artifact there of, 6 mana to draw 5 cards. To draw 5 cards. That's it's a pretty good value there. And then if you just get rid of it, you don't have to do any of the other stuff. Acrobatic Cheerleader, Most Valuable Slayer, Glimmerlight, Monstrous Emergence, Unable to Scream, Give In to Violence, Horrid Vigor, Patched Plaything, Defiled Crypt, Cadaver Lab, Veteran Survivor, another Tale of Tamio. Okay. Not too great to see multiples of the same ones in here so often, since, we already got... the Layers of Valgavoth is fine because it was 2 different arts of it there, but this is second Tale of Tamio. We already got 2 of the Leyline of the Voids there, but we are also going to get a Hedge Shredder as well. An interesting little vehicle. 2 and double green for a 5/5 vehicle that when it attacks, you may mill 2 cards. You don't have to. And whenever 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, you put them onto the battlefield tapped. So if you are able to know what's on the top of your deck or manipulate it there. So you put some lands on the top of it. You could just swing in with this, mill those cards, and you get the lands out. Pretty nifty. And an Etched Cornfield and a foil Skullsnap Nuisance. Okay, well, at least because, you know, there was the Head Shredder along with the Tale of Tamio, it wasn't exactly just like a one-to-one of, oh, you know, repeat one. Though, you know, it is nice to get other ones in there. Jump Scare, boop, you know, it is Halloween-ish time. Turn Inside Out, Murder, Final Vengeance, Say Its Name, so now we got 2. Twist Reality, Winter's Intervention, Split Skin Doll, Baseball Bat, Fear of Being Hunted, Leyline of Resonance, another leyline for us there, 2 and double red for an enchantment. Same with Void, if it's in your opening hand, you can begin the game with it on the battlefield, free card to be played. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single creature you control, you can copy that spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. Very nice. And we're also going to get an Undead Sprinter, black and a red for a 2/2 Zambi with Trample and Haste. You may cast it from your graveyard if a non-zombie creature died this turn, and if you do, it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, that's pretty nice there of being able to put it out if another non-zombie came out there. A little bit of regenerative effects there. Ooh, a foil full art planes. That's always very nice to see. Full arts are nice. Foil full arts, even nicer. And a little Betrayer's Bargain as well with that Glimmer. So another double rare pack. It's always nice seeing double rares in the packs there. So certainly we'll take that. A little emblem there for Kaido Bane of Nightmares. Good to get those emblems. Terramorphic Expanse, Hardened Escort, Ripchain Razorkin, Vicious Clown, Cackling Slasher, Cryptid Inspector, Meatlocker Drowned Diner, Osseous Stick Twister, Skullsnap Nuisance, Greenhouse and Rickety Gazebo, break down the door with a little bit of Here is Johnny, and we're going to get a Zimone all questioning with her prime numbers. 1 a green and a blue for a 1/1 legendary human wizard with, at the beginning of your end step, if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, and you control a prime number of lands, you create, I want to say primo because of how it's spelled, but because it's prime numbers, it's probably primo. Primo the Indivisible, a legendary 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Then put that many +1/+1 counters on it, and it will go through a bunch of prime numbers for you there to be able to help you determine what it is. If you got a lot of lands coming in, you know, it's probably nice to be able to get it out there. I like the math of it there, though maybe not a lot of people appreciate that. And we're going to get a full art island, very nice, and a foil Cackling Slasher, as well as this Kaido Bane of Nightmares emblem, which, you know, being able to get the emblems in case you do play the Planeswalkers is kind of nice there, just so that you don't have to be like, yes, I have a emblem out there, and they don't really understand. Unsettling Twins, Fear of Immobility, Impossible Inferno, Enter the Enigma, Cracked Skull, Flesh Burrower, Erratic Apparition, Clammy Prowler, Fear of Falling, Ethereal Armor, Diversion Specialist, Razorkin Needlehead. Okay, this one was a decent aggressive card there. Double red for a 2/2 Human Assassin with has first strike during your turns, and whenever an opponent draws a card, this deals 1 damage to them there. So, you know, good on dealing some extra damage. Got first strike to be able to try to hit them and, you know, have their creatures not kill this back there. But I'll have to see about potentially putting this into my Nekusar deck. It is double red, which makes it a little bit more restrictive, but it's that whole whenever an opponent draws a card, deals damage to them, makes it feel oh so sweet of being able to get it out there. And a little bit of Bleeding Woods and a foil Shepherding Spirits with a Glimmer. Okay. More Needlekin is decent. We'll just keep on going, see if we can get any more of our stuff. Just an island on that one. Glimmer Burst, Seize from Slumber, Hand That Feeds, Spectral Snatcher, Bear Trap, Bashful Beastie, Appendage Amalgam, Ghostly Keybearer, Smoky Lounge and Misty Saloon, a Saw, and Threats Around Every Corner, and a Grievous Wounds, a 3 and double black enchantment aura with enchant player. That player can't gain life, and whenever they are dealt damage, they lose half their life rounded up. So it's not a replacement effect. It's just if they take damage, they also lose half their life. So they'll take the damage first, and they'll lose half their life. So it keeps on dealing a whole lot more. Now, I feel like this is really, really good for Commander there. In terms of any other format, 5 mana is pretty slow to be able to get to that there. That's the only issue that I have with it. Full art planes will always take more full arts, and an Overgrown Zealot there with that full art island as the art card there. Very nice artwork. I do enjoy these Valgavoth lands for the full arts. They're very nice. Up next, a little bit of Cathartic Parting. Oh, poor Nashi. Resurrected Cultist, Friendly Ghost, Ticket Booth and Tunnel of Hate, Found Footage, Horrid Vigor, Underwater Tunnel and Slimy Aquarium, Grand Entryway and Elegant Rotunda, Intruding Soul Rager. I like the 3D blue and red effect on that. Sporogenic Infection, Norrin Swift Survivalist, Overgrown Zealot, and another non-foil, Marina Vendrill's Grimoire. Now, can't really be quite as mad about this because, yeah, it's a repeat rare, but the other one was foil. So, it's just like that one was in and of itself an extra rare. So, it's fine to get it there. It's not, the greatest one there, but we'll still take it. Razor Trap Gorge and a foil Grasping Longneck with that Cathartic Parting with the signature on it. Very nice. Alrighty. 2 more for this third. Hopefully this is a lot faster than the previous ones. Piranha Fly, Cult Healer, Rampaging Soul Rager, say its name. Now we got 3. Unable to Scream, Derelict Attic, Widow's Walk, Baelmerk Leech, Fear of Infinity, Popular Egoist, Insidious Fungus, Betrayer's Bargain, and another mythic here, a Funeral Room and a Awakening Hall. Funeral Room, both of them enchantment rooms, 2 and a black. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay, so that's a little bit of Blood Artist effect there. Blood Artist, I think, is 1 in black, so you don't get the creature, but you get it harder to remove on an enchantment. And Awakening Hall, 6 and double black. Pretty expensive. For when you unlock this door, you return all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's only your graveyard, so it's more of just... It's not quite a Rise from the Dark Realms there, but, if you're getting a lot of stuff into your graveyard, either milling yourself, sacrificing a bunch of your stuff, whatever have you there, being able to return all of that can be pretty good there. So a little bit of a potential blowout at the very end. So another Mythic is always good there. Abandoned Campground and a foil Spineseeker Centipede there. Okay, so that's 4. Yep, so one more Mythic would be really, really good, and any extra would be great. We already got 3 foil rares so far, so that's also pretty nifty. Only 1 land, though it is a foil. Grab the Prize, Seize from Slumber, Glassworks and Shattered Yard, Emerge from the Cocoon, Grasping Longneck, Vanish from Sight, Fear of the Dark, Anthropede, Bottomless Pool and the Locker Room, Shrewd Storyteller, Saw, and I don't think I have this artwork yet there. That's very, very good there. And it's the blue-black one. Gloom Lake Verge. It's the Verge that provides blue. And if you control an island or swamp, you can do it for black. Yeah, very, very nice artwork for 1 thing there. 2, I don't think I have this one there, so it does help complete out the collection. And 3, it's just a good card in general. Oh my goodness, that's probably I really like this, but I already have one because I bought one. Again, also hyped to get this, and, more Mythics is good, but that one is, a swamp there with some interesting, devious artwork there, and a foil Vengeful Possession with a Spirit. Man, the last pack, that third was pretty darn good. If it can give me a couple more Verges, then I'd be pretty thankful for that. Little unidentified hover ship there. We've gotten a few of those. Cult Healer, Bedded Beastie, Unsettling Twins, Resurrected Cultist, Cautious Survivor, Malevolent Chandelier, Vanish from Sight, Live or Die, Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay, so this is the last of our ones there. So there are 3 uncommons that are really good. There's the Untimely Malfunction, there's the like black one that we had earlier with the alternate artwork, and this is the last one there. It's so good. 1 in a white enchantment aura, so not that expensive to play. And you're like, okay, an enchantment aura, that's not great because auras, if they kill the creature, it's a 2-for-1. Whenever this enters, you exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. So it gives you an Oblivion Ring effect. And then the creature that you enchant gets +1/+0, has lifelink and ward 2. So it makes it harder to get rid of, so harder to get that 2-for-1. It gives it lifelink and a little bit extra power. It's very powerful. Like, this is a very powerful uncommon there. Like I very much could potentially see this as being a rare instead, just with everything that it gives to it there. But, I mean, it's an uncommon, so, I mean, it's a little bit easier to find. Still very powerful. Scrabbling Skull Crab, Coordinated Clobbering, Jolly Balloon Man there. I think I've mentioned that I want to make a commander deck out of him there, even though he is incredibly creepy. 1 red and white, 1/4 legendary human clown with haste. You can pay 1 and tap to create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control, except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature in addition to its other colors and types, and has flying and haste. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. So cannot make a copy of another legendary creature per se. However, what you could do is make a copy of something that gives you a whole lot of bonuses, either when you attack or during during like your end phase, or anything that happens. I mean, it's a tap effect, so it can happen at instant speed, so you can do it at the end of an opponent's end step there, or during your untap step there. When it gets untapped, you could do that if you have like an upkeep or a draw effect there that you want to copy. It's an interesting one. I'd like to make it. Foil Swamp with that ending staircase there, very nice. And a foil greenhouse and rickety gazebo with that flying hover chip. Okay, interesting little ones to start off this one here, the Sheltered by Ghosts. We got the trifecta of amazing uncommons. Hushwood Verge, okay, so Verge. Grab Prize, Seize from Slumber, Glasswork Shattered Yard, Emerge from the Cocoon, Grasping Longneck, Vanish from Sight, Fear of the Dark, Savior of the Small, Disturbing Mirth, Attack in a Box, Haunted Screen, and Curse Recording. Okay, so same thing like with Marina Vendrill's journal there. This is a regular version of the foil, so it's like, yeah, it would have been great if this was something else, but the other one was essentially an extra card to it there. We'll still take this. It's just, it would have been nice to have something else. Foil Forest, Foil Unsettling Twins, and we've got that Verge that it would have been nice if this was our actual rare there, but we just got to deal with things there. But it would be nice to get at least one more Verge to be like, hey, we got 3 of the 5 Verges there. 2/2 Horror, that looks kind of pretty awful. I'm not going to lie, like, I would not want to be running across that. Fear of Immobility, Boiler Bilge's Ripper, Vicious Clown, Shepherding Spirits, Say Its Name. Now we've got it 4 times. Stocked Researcher, Innocuous Rat, Creeping Peeper, Orphans of the Wheat, Ghostly Keybearer, Diversion Specialist, Marvin Murderous Mimic, another very interesting one. 2 mana for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature toy. Marvin Murderous Mimic has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. So, you can get this out there to replicate some stuff. So, good one there if you want to put it into an Agatha's Soul Cauldron deck there, to be able to get that out there. If you want to put this into like a VV deck so that you double up on your extra mana triggers there. This can use exhaust abilities of things there. Like, it it's kind of versatile when you think of it. And the only problem is that its greatest benefit is also one of its greatest detriments, in that it's colorless, so it can go into any deck there, but because it's colorless, you can't put any colored spells, so it's a lot harder to make this a commander when you need to only be using colorless things there. But it's great in the 99 of a lot of different things that utilize those sorts of things, especially if your commander has an activated ability like that. Like I said, like Vivi or anything like that. So very, very good card. I'm glad to get more of them there because I could put a lot of them in different places. Oh, foil full art mountain. We'll certainly take that. And a foil threats around every corner with that horror and a manifest. Okay, so interesting final third so far. Marvin, like I said, very good pickup. Another horror with probably another manifest on the back. Living Phone, Scorching Dragonfire, Glimmerlight, Bashful Beastie, Daggermaw Megalodon. Surprised we haven't gotten more of that. Given to Violence, Pendage Amalgam, Unwilling Vessel, Wildfire Wickerfolk, Keys to the House. Ooh, Leyline of Mutation there. We might have double rares in this unless I counted incorrectly. 2 and double green for an enchantment. Very similar like with the other two of Resonance and Void. If it's in your opening hand, you begin the game with it on the battlefield for a 3. And you may pay Wooburg rather than pay the mana cost for spells that you cast. Now, I'm trying to remember if it's Morophon that reduces the cost of all of your spells by Wooburg there. So you basically can play everything for free in that deck there if you get both of them out. I can't quite remember, but, you know, it'd be nice. And a fear of missing out, a little bit of FOMO. I'm not I either do not have this one, and I know it's good, or that I've only gotten once before, and this is like the second one, but very, very good one too. 1 in a red, 2/3 enchantment creature, Nightmare. When it ETBs, you discard a card and then draw a card there. You know, a little bit of looting or rummaging. I can't remember which one is which. Delirium. When it attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, you untap a target creature, and after this phase, there is an additional combat phase. So only does it with 1 creature there, but if you've got a lot of things with vigilance per se, you know, it's good. You know, it's another addition to my multiple combat phase stuff there. You know, it's just another one that helps grant all of those ones there, especially if I can give vigilance to things. So that's always nice. So double rares always good. Strangled Cemetery, but you know what's better than double rares? Triple rares, and that's not a triple rare. Oh well, Impossible Inferno foil. I don't think we've seen even this one in there, so it's just weird how, you know, there are some commons or uncommons that like you go through the whole box without seeing. It's just kind of weird. Okay. Piranha Fly, Jump Scare, Boo! Ragged Playmate, Friendly Teddy, Horrid Vigor, Twist Reality, Final Vengeance, Commune with Evil, Midnight Mayhem, Let's Play a Game, a little bit more Saw action, House Cartographer, and, oh, yes. Okay, so Screaming Nemesis, one of the best mythics that you can get in this in these packs, and I didn't have one yet. And it finally came around. This is so good. Screaming Nemesis, 2 and a red for a 3/3 spirit with haste. When this is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. And if a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. The rest of the game, not the turn, the rest of the game. Turns off all life gain strategies there. It's so good. It's very powerful. It's only 3 and it's got haste. Oh, I'm so glad to get that one. It's like, yeah, you know, I want the Overlords, but I forgot Screaming Nemesis was in here. Oh, it's so good. Swamp and a foil Slavering Branch Snapper with a Glimmer. I mean, we hit the jackpot. We've got a Screaming Nemesis. We got a Haunt Woods. We got the Abhorrent Oculus. Fear of Missing Out. We've got in like the blue-black Verge. We got a foil white-blue Verge. Like, there's some good stuff in this pack, this box as well. I mean, again, it'd be great to get one more mythic just to edge out that, 5 mythic total there. Or another Verge, Spine Seeker Centipede, Fear of Surveillance, Hand That Feeds, Fanatic of the Herring, Slavering Branch Snapper, Don't Make a Sound, Winter's Intervention, Miasma Demon, Surgical Suite Hospital Room, Duskmourn's Domination, Veteran Survivor, and a Waltz of Rage. I'm not sure if I've seen this one. 3 and double red, sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. Until end of turn, whenever a creature you control dies, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn there. End of the next turn. Okay, that could be pretty decent of a little bit of a board wipe, almost. You could hit things like Screaming Nemesis or Boros Reckoner there to just, deal a whole lot of extra damage there. Yeah, I mean... It seems like a decent one. It's a little bit expensive, so it's definitely a card that you'd only probably see in Commander there. But it's interesting. I don't think I have it, so that's always good. Island and a foil Valgavoth's Faithful. So, interesting ones there to be sure. Even more so if I am correct and it's a card that I don't have, because every single one that I don't have makes it one less card that I have to get individually. Oops. Worry Watchdog, Trapped in the Screen, Rampaging Soul Rager, Cryptid Inspector, Bear Trap, Enter the Enigma, Clammy Prowler, Fear of Isolation, Shard Mage's Rescue, Pyroclasm, Rootwise Survivor. Ooh. And, well, this is our other mythic that we were looking for. An alternate art for the Meat Hook Massacre 2. Now, I think that I got this, like the alternate art of this one in the collector boosters, and I think I need the regular one there. However, it's not quite as good as the original Meat Hut Massacre, so, I know it wouldn't be quite as difficult to just purchase the extra one there if I need it, but it's a lot. 4 black and double X for a legendary enchantment. When this ETBs, each player sacrifices X creatures. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 3 life, and if you do return that card under your control with a finality counter on it. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, you return that card under your control with a finality counter on it. So it's along the ways of you could do it for the sacrifice effects to try to make a whole lot of paying life happen there. With the finality counters and all of that. But, like, the second effect is really good. So, you don't even need to spend anything. You can just pay the 4 in, like, a commander deck there. And it's just like, yeah, whenever one of your creatures dies, you could pay 3 life or I get it there. And it's, like, probably a lot of the stuff they don't want you to get. So, very, it might not be the greatest hit there, but it's still a good hit. And we reached 6 mythics, which is very good in my book. A Murky Sewer and a foil Unnerving Grasp. So one more Verge and we will also hit that quota as well if we're able to. That would be fantastic. Who knows? We might even get another foil rare. Another Overlord in our art slot. Murderer, Emerge from the Cocoon, Ticket Booth and Tunnel of Hate. Cackling Slasher, Monstrous Emergence, Meat Locker, and Drowned Diner, Derelict Attic, Widow's Walk, Shroud Stomper, Exercise, Shrewd Storyteller, Patchwork Beastie, and, regular version of Winter. So, I mean, if I didn't have Winter, now I've got both versions of them there. That's pretty nice. And again, getting multiple of them along the way of cards that you're like, yeah, I could use that. Well, now I could use one as a commander if I wanted to, and I could put another in another deck if I wanted to. Yeah, helps out. Mountain and a foil Innocuous Rat, and we'll get that Bailmerk there. Very, very creepy guy there with, like, lots of limbs, lots of extra limbs there. All right, 4 packs left. I mean, it'd be great to get another Overlord there. That'd be another mythic there, but if I could get another Verge, that'd be great. Glimmer Burst, Possessed Goat, Turn Inside Out, Crack Skull, Erratic Apparition, Cautious Survivor, Anthropede, Valgavoth Faithful, Brood Spinner, Cursed Windbreaker, Unwanted Remake, and, oh, another Leyline. So this is our 4th Leyline. All different ones, too. Leyline of Hope. Oh, no, we've gotten 5 of them because we got a repeat of Leyline of the Void. 2 double white. Same with the other ones. Enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, you get to put it out on the battlefield. If you would gain life, you gain that much life +1 instead. And as long as you have at least 7 life more than your starting total, all of your creatures you control get +2/+2. And a life gain deck, just giving all of your creatures +2/+2 is pretty nifty there. So I might, I'm still trying to think of how to make my Hope Estime deck there. Putting that in there, giving all of your creatures more power seems pretty good, especially if you give them lifelink and you're gaining the extra life. Foil Raucous Carnival, and a foil Living Phone. Okay. Leyline, I just realized Leyline of Hope and Hope Estime makes sense. They were expecting that to happen there. Oh, Shard Token. I'm not sure if I've gotten this token before, but it's very nice to get that for when I play the Nico. Terramorphic Expanse, Hardened Escort, Ripchain Razorkin, Daggermaw Megalodon, Fear of Lost Teeth, Frantic Strength, Bailmerk Leech, Bottomless Pool Locker Room, Gremlin Tamer, Pyroclasm, Piggy Bank, and an Enduring card. Enduring Curiosity, 2 and double blue for a 4/3 enchantment creature Cat Glimmer with Flash. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. And when this dies, if it was a creature, you return it to the battlefield under its own owner's control, but it's an enchantment, so it gets to come back there, and you still get that effect of the dealing combat damage to a player. You draw a card, and it's whenever a creature does it there. So you hit them with 3 creatures, you draw 3 cards. That's why it's pretty darn good, and I'm glad to get another one there because I don't think I have many of that one. A mountain and a foil Fear of Burning Alive with that shard. Another good pack there. Second to last pack. Maybe a little bit of luck in this one here. I know that we can't get any of the Japanese cards or whatnot there in these ones here. Another Valgavoth Onslaught, but it'd be nice. First Impossible Inferno in the regular slot. Friendly Ghost, Acrobatic Cheerleader, Most Valuable Slayer, Grasping Longneck, Fear of the Dark, Slavering Branch Snapper, Arabella, Abandoned Doll, an interesting legendary creature, Vile Mutilator, Killer's Mask, reference for that Jason Voorhees, Irreverent Gremlin, first time getting that one in these ones, and alternate art for Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery. I don't think I have this, but that is another mythic for us. It's not another one of these overlords there. It's not the most expensive one there, but I think this is another one that I don't have this artwork for, so that's nice. Dollmaker Shop, Enchantment Room, 1 and a white. Whenever 1 or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, you create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. So, it helps with a super go-wide board. And Porcelain Gallery, 4 and double white creatures you control have base power and toughness, each equal to the number of creatures you control. Helps more with that go-wide strategy. Very interesting one there. I'll certainly take that, especially since I don't think I have it. Etch Cornfield Foil, and a foil Intruding Soul Rager. That nice 3D guys that we talked about. No signature on that one, though. And we're down to our last one there. Another Enduring Glimmer would be nice. Another Verge would be nice. Another Mythic would be nice. Foil Rare. There's a lot of stuff. Another Impossible Inferno. They want to try to give us the 3 to have at the very end. Living Phone, Ragged Playmate, Daggermaw Megalodon, Manifest Dread, Cackling Slasher, Anthropede, Conductive Machete, first time getting this one in the box, Savior of the Small, Painter Studio, and Defaced Gallery, again, first time getting this one in the box, and Weckerfolk Thrasher, and we did get another Verge. We got the red-black one there. So we got 2 extra Mythics, and we got the 3 Verges that we wanted there. Blazemire Verge, it's the black one that taps for red if you've got a swamp or a mountain. Very, very nice to be getting those ones there. An island and a foil Bellmerk Leech there. So all in all, very nice there. You got that Dollmaker's Shop, Meat Hook, Funeral Room and Awakening Chamber. We got half and half, Walk-in Closet, Forgotten Cellar, you know, or not half and half, but we got 3 there, and then we got 4 of these ones there. Very, very nice to get those. Got the Verges, the Endurings, Leyline, Winter, Fear of Missing Out, another Leyline. There's that Verge. We got 2 of those, Grievous, Razorkin, Zimone, Undead Sprinter. It's another Leyline, Hedge Trimmer, 2 Tails of Tameo, the Grimoire Foil, Doomsday Excruciator, Kona, 2 of the Valgavoth Layers to finish those one up, the Verge, the Leyline, another Nashi, another Winter, the Valgavoth, the Leyline, Tameo, Rip, Swarmweaver, Ghost Vacuum, second Cursed Recording, the Rooms, Pier, Toby, and some more rooms there. Overall, I mean, like, we got a lot of good stuff. Like I said, 7 mythics. We got 3 of the Verges. 1 of them was alternate art. 1 of them was foil. We got a really good Enduring Glimmer there. We got 4 of the 5 Leylines. We got multiple versions of cards that I'm not even sure that I've gotten in the previous ones. Overall, very good. You know, I'm happy with it. Even if it doesn't come out to full, which I think is probably pretty hard because of Screaming Nemesis, the Overlord, Aberrant, Oculus, the Enduring Curiosity, and our Verges there. I'm sure that the box paid for itself, but I'm just glad that we got some really cool and interesting stuff in this. I mean, even some of the other things, like we got some of the good uncommons. We got some emblems. We got the Shard token. Like, there was just good stuff. I'm not complaining. I liked it. So thank you for joining me on this spooky season. Ooh, you know, my cards, they're moving on themselves. Ooh. But yeah, you know, I really do appreciate you coming to check these out. When you do, hopefully I've made this one a little bit shorter. And if I do other ones that are repeats, that I continue to do them shorter, makes them maybe a little bit more palatable to watch. Who knows? We'll see. But thank you for joining me on this one here. I look forward to you joining me on a follow-up one there. Please take care of yourself. I'll see you later.